So I have legal practitioner and member of parliament for Southdown in the studio, Roxanne Nelson Dafamokbo. And good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Yeah, you're a bit late in coming to the studio. Traffic?
Yes, yeah, today
it's on traffic.
There's an incident around the police depot involving two vehicles. So it's affected traffic.
You always look good, but today you're looking exceptional. I love your mauve colors and
thank you.
You look like some Nigerian chief, you know, some oil lawyer. But you celebrating your birthday, or you celebrated it over the weekend?
Yes, my twin brother and I was over the weekend on
Are
Saturday.
you a twin?
Yes,
you guys are identical? Or?
No, we are fraternal, but
fraternal.
we look alike. I come from a long line of twins, 4 sets. We are the last set.
Wow.
Yeah.
You mean the same nuclear family?
Yes, my mother, one father, one mother.
You have 4?
2,
4.
Yes.
8?
Yes.
Plus how many more? How many more after the twins?
That's all.
That's all.
We're the last.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah, my mother was an exceptional woman.
Yeah. So was it from your dad's side or your mom's side?
Both. They both have twins
in their families. Their lineage. Charlie, it's good genes, man. Yeah. Good genes. This one you do them 2, no, you're okay.
Yeah.
2 times, then you'll have 4. But you don't have any.
No, none of us.
None
so
of
I hear it's a genetic jump.
None of you the
maybe
twins.
Our children.
Yes, so, but I know twins who have twins.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
But I went to check. The doctor said maybe it's a genetic jump.
So maybe the next one, maybe your kids.
Maybe our children.
Yes.
Children, they will have so many.
All right, fantastic, fantastic. But happy birthday to you, belated though.
Thank you,
and how did you spend it?
Well, we are working for God and country.
Ah, that thing.
You know.
All right, but how are you going to spend it now? Maybe you have a weekend ahead.
I don't think I'll have the time because over the weekend I have to go to the constituency, see my people.
Right.
We have a big funeral. Regional Women's Organizer is dead.
Yeah, I'm told.
So Kpando.
I hear she's been on the position as women for 16 years.
Yes, Kpando will be agog.
She comes from Kpando?
Yes.
Okay. You should invite me so that I go along.
Let's go. You're already in something that looks like.
Yeah, it's because of Kaba.
Yes, I agree.
We have the funeral this weekend.
Yeah, so let's go.
All right.
From Kabas then.
Sharp. I'll try. I'll do my best. But we know the topical of issues. We'll quickly run through them. We don't have enough of the time, but let's look at the Electoral Commission. We're told that appear before the committee or that was constituted by the Chief Justice, if I'm right. But we know that a council, they wrote to the President asking for the petition in itself because they hadn't been served. That's the way to go, right?
Yes, constitutionally, the procedure adopted by the presidency is correct. But in the spirit of the doctrine of natural justice, she ought to have been given a copy of the petition. Yes, she ought to be furnished with a copy of the petition. And then, you know, it's the doctrine in criminal justice that you must know your accusers so you can confront them. You understand? And so in all these processes, she's not cited the petition yet. In fact, what the Chief Justice did was to send her a letter intimating that a petition has been referred to my office against your person, and in essence they are citing loss of grounds upon which I should initiate impeachment proceedings against you, and so answer. But that's not the way it should go. What should go to the EC chair is that the office of the CJ should have just written a cover letter attached to the petition, the actual petition. All right? Attached to the actual petition, and then referred that to the Electoral Commissioner for her to answer. You don't say that you are writing to her for her to respond as a result of a petition that has been referred to you. So she's taking issues from the petition, couched them in her letter, and sent it to her. Her office is only supposed to issue a cover letter and attach it to the petition. So we'll know who are the authors of the petition. Now, if I'm a lawyer, supposedly, and I am acting upon your instructions, you ought to be known. So my comment yesterday, for instance, on another platform is that the procedure is being bastardized.
If you say Basa being abused,
yes.
By who?
And
Which of
right.
the?
I think with all due respect, by the CJ's office. And you see, I made the point because for the CJ to come to make a determination of a prima facie case, it's a judicial process. You don't make that determination whimsically. That determination has to be done according to judicial laid down judicial process. There are evidential issues. So you don't go outside of the petition to look for evidence. If this is the petition, the prima facie case that the CJ must come to must be determined on the face of the petition. I do not think the petition came with documents. But the allegations as contained in the petition can only be established with documentary evidence. There are a lot of issues. For instance, how can you say that the Electoral Commissioner transferred staff of the commission that are supposed to be MPP members? Those people who are described as MPP members, were they card-bearing members of the MPP?
Or your question would be, how were they determined to be
yes.
MPP?
So
because they came into the employ of the commission as lay members.
No, as individuals. As individuals, as citizens of Ghana.
Because the benchmark or the criteria which you employ was not on any party.
On certain criteria, depending on quality and standards, qualifications. And so there was no way you could even establish that without any documentary proof. In any case, I don't think if anybody works with the Electoral Commission that is a card-bearing member of the NPP ought to work there. It is not a partisan organization.
Right.
You know, so we have serious issues. Personally, I have serious issues.
Well, the processes and the decisions being taken, how is that akin to an earlier case of the removal of the Shraj boss following a petition also in that process, knowing that they are like institutions?
Yes. Now, if for CJ Wood to make a determination, I'm sure a determination regarding a prima facie case was communicated to the Shraj boss at the time. It is upon the determination of the prima facie case that will occasion the formation of the committee of inquiry. All right. Now, where the Electoral Commissioner is sitting now, has she been furnished with the basis for making that determination? And like I'm saying, you see, you must evaluate evidence that the petition, as has been referred to me, it is not only averment on paper. If it's only averment on paper, I have denied. Okay, so if I have denied, how do you go beyond that? There must be proof. So in that case, there has to be street proof. And there are several case laws that have been, Bodibo Okran has stated the law perfectly. We must evaluate it. There has to be a probative value placed on those. So if you look at things on a plain piece of paper signed by someone,
on the face of it,
and make a determination, I have my difficulty with that. I have serious difficulty so far as the coastal judicial process is concerned. And so I'm saying we want to know the reasons, because the Chief Justice at her level cannot be giving a ruling without giving a reason. She should tell us. So she should have issued a preliminary ruling that this is my ruling concerning the case of making a determination of a prima facie case. And based on A, B, C, D reasons, I so find that
that has been not made public.
So she should make it public.
Why should it be public?
Why the whole process has to be transparent? Why shouldn't it be so?
But we're told that, well, the committee hearing in itself for the interactions will be in camera.
Why should it be in camera?
Shouldn't it have
been? It should not be in camera. Now we have gotten to a stage.
Knowing that there are sensitive issues.
Why?
Well, the personalities themselves and perhaps
if I were
the
any
environment
of them,
and the suppositions and perhaps the factors that got us here make it quite sensitive.
You see, the interest in the matters happening at the Electoral Commission are so sensitive and are so deep-seated within the citizenry that it will inure to the reputation of the CJ if she says that the hearing should be done in full glare of the media and the public.
You're sure?
I am sure.
Is it a normal practice?
Why? CJ Wood made that decision when she decided that the petition before the Supreme Court.
You mean the election petition?
Yes.
Should be made public, which otherwise, based on past
the media couldn't cover. The media couldn't cover in the courtroom. You could only stand outside when lawyers.
And I remember I'd been a court reporter.
Yes, when lawyers.
Even your recorders, you couldn't.
Yes, you could not even take photographs in the court.
Yeah, sure.
You can't do it. When you do so, that is.
You can do some pre-hearing activity.
That is contempt in facial courier. You will be sent to the cooler if you take a photograph of a judge.
Yeah.
You know, so there are certain decisions you make in the interest of the larger society, just for the sake of transparency.
All right. You are a lawyer, so you're speaking on the fringes of the law, etc.
Not on the fringes.
Or
on the core.
On the core of the law. But at the end of the day, we know that there are other seemingly political intonations.
Why so? The political intonations. We are making the NDC.
Yes.
The NDC is
okay,
making
you've accepted you are making.
Yes, the NDC is making those deductions as a result of the fact that there have been public utterances in the past that this day, what is happening this day will happen.
Can you cite some of them for me?
I can cite the Honorable Kennedy Japan. He made a comment that this woman supposedly got a position as a result of sexual favors. And so when they come, they will remove her by any means necessary. It is happening. Other high-ranking, you know, to the extent that there were certain women groups that called upon her to apologize. He refused. You know, he refused. Later, he said it in jest. He said it was a political comment, said on a political platform. But for what is happening now, we knew. We've come to the determination that it was not something said. It was a calculated move. They planned it even when they were in opposition.
Your colleague Abraham Amaliba is quoted copiously on various web portals.
Yes.
You know, of course, their news content, saying that the NDC will not sit down ideal for the EC to be removed. But we know the EC and the process to hear any petition against her person and two of her deputies really are just started.
You see, I think Amaliba said that thing in context, and I'll help you.
Yeah, sure, I know the context.
Yes,
but I'm saying
no, and I'll help you. The NPP is on a warpath to remove every appointee.
Or every appointment.
Every appointee
made
by the NDC government.
I see.
Every appointee put in place by the NDC government. Okay. And I'll give you. They succeeded in removing the governor of the Bank of Ghana. They told us that he resigned willingly.
Who told you? But that's the official communication.
Yes, what we hear.
What do you want us to do?
If you like, call Dr. Isahaku. The terms of disengagement that they agreed on.
We'll be discussing the second deputy.
Yes.
If you don't want to take the win out of myself.
No, I am not. I'm just giving, so we'll get there. They succeeded in removing the MD of GCV, Mr. Agbesi. Find out whether they are paid in his entitlements. They haven't. They succeeded in removing the head of the ADB bank. Look at how these guys transformed these banks within about
Mr. Stephen Poggi.
Yes. Look at the transformation he brought to ADB. Look at the transformation and the rebranding Mr. Agbesi brought to Ghana Commercial Bank, now GCB Bank. You know, and a host of others. Now they are about to kick my own constituents out of office. Dr. Isiama, the second deputy.
Has it come to that point?
Why?
Is it a matter of the person being your contact? But we're not discussing that yet. Please, let's exhaust our narrative.
Yes, I am placing it in context.
And so,
Lawyer Maliba said that it has gotten to a time that the NDC should not sit down for the persons that got appointments during its regime to be removed from office as if they are non-Ghanaians.
Okay. If we have to take it on what they are and the face
Yes.
value.
Yes.
In detail and the
Yes.
face value. What's the meaning of that? That it's becoming recurrent and a phenomenon.
It's an agenda that you should remove them as if they are non-Ghanaians.
If it says agenda, it means it's politically
Why?
motivated.
Why? Do you know the persons who are petitioning against the Electoral Commissioner as we speak?
No, I don't know, unless
Yes.
you want to tell me.
Now the matter has
I know
become
there was
public
one,
knowledge.
Maxwell.
Maxwell Opoku-Ajima is a lawyer. He taught me law of evidence in law school, and I know him very well. We relate well. He should tell us.
You
the
can say
people,
you're good friends.
Yes.
You're okay friends.
Yes.
Okay.
He should tell us the people who are his clients.
Is it normal for
lawyers take instructions? Lawyers don't act on their
Well,
own
I do
volition.
understand, but is it normal for such sensitive cases because they are still in the employ of?
You see,
They're still in the employ
when
of
you
the
say you
Electoral
are a lawyer,
Commission.
you are acting upon instructions.
Yes,
it
please.
gets to a stage where your clients must be known.
They have to be unveiled.
Yes, you don't go to court and say every day that I act on the instructions of my client.
So they will ask you, who are your clients?
It will get to a stage that the person you have sued on behalf of your client, the defender will be asking, but where are the plaintiffs in the matter, my lord? I want to see. Even in a criminal matter.
You mean a lawyer can act as?
You can act to some extent. It will get to a certain stage of the proceedings.
That they would
Your
want to know.
clients must show their face.
All right.
Now, in criminal matters, it will get to a stage where the accused person must say that, oh, my lord, I need to know who are the complainants in the matter.
All right.
You understand?
Mr. Dapamak, I've read in various circles and extensive commentary and literature, especially when all these issues started with the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Mr. Charlotte Osei, and the two deputies, Amadou Sele, as well as Georgina Opoku-Amankwa. Relatedly, that this was an internal matter, perhaps maybe it didn't even need to get to that point. But who determines that? The related issues for which the petitions that have been speculated so far, because we still haven't seen the petition in its
That's exactly
what
my
we see
point.
is the speculative petitions that have been raised in those speculative petitions are still more of internal management issues that could have been resolved internally. Do you still also hold that view?
Yes, because they have internal disciplinary measures.
Yes.
Or structures that would deal with some of these things, and there would have internal inquiries. And I'm sure I'm very curious because I hear that now it is not only Mrs. Osei who is facing the committee, but the other two commissioners, two deputy commissioners, who petitioned against them to the office of the presidency.
I think there had been some petitions against them.
Who petitioned against them? So at what point did the president
It's been speculated in the media.
Yes. So at what point did the president refer petitions requesting for the removal of the two deputies to the office of the chief
I think it
justice?
was announced in the media, I believe.
And no, what we know is the one in respect of the commissioner, not the two deputy commissioners.
I
So
think,
it's a
I think
curious-
the two followed up immediately.
When?
If you follow,
Who are the petitioners?
Now I can only rely on the news media.
Yes.
Because I haven't authenticated. What the communication director of the presidency said was that they had received subsequent petitions on the two, and they had been forward. And I remember, I think I watched him on Kabe. I listened to him on Kabe's program at the time.
I don't recall hearing that.
Okay.
But if it did
I'm
happen,
giving you as a caveat.
If it did happen, fine. But we must be careful so that we don't bastardize constitutional organizations, institutions set up by the
You're a lawyer, you're also a member of parliament, you're a politician. Of course, you're a well-read man. I want to ask you, are we setting a certain precedent here, either negative or positive?
And a very bad one, a very negative precedent.
What would you speculate are those?
And now, it means that if this succeeds, what it means is that
or even doesn't succeed.
Yes, another government can come and go after the Chief Justice, for instance, tomorrow. Another government can come and go after the Commissioner for Human Rights.
Is it the government that's going after? We have individuals who have petitioned the presidency.
Right, these people are all associated with the present government. And I've told you that persons, high-ranking persons in this government have made public utterances suggesting that by any means necessary, fair or foul, they must remove the chairperson of the Electoral Commission.
And you think that
and it is the events as they unfold now is conclusively leading to that occasion. You know, and we think that it is worrisome.
I see. Okay, at best or at most, what would be the final determination of the committee, and how would that outcome be implemented or followed up?
You see, you don't have to. We don't even know who the members of the committee are. I don't know.
That's also a problem for you.
Yes, I don't know.
But why should you know? Is a committee by all regulations of our country,
the membership of the committee
mandates the Chief Justice to
constitutionally determined.
Fantastic.
The membership of the committee.
So why would you want to know?
Hold on. The membership of the committee.
Does it matter?
It is very material. The membership of the committee is already constitutionally determined. But as to the personas who will be appointed to constitute that committee is also critical. If we are saying that a member of the committee should be a Supreme Court judge or a retired Supreme Court judge, which of the retired Supreme Court judges are we going to call upon? And that is
how many do we have?
Hold on. And that is at the discretion of the Chief Justice.
How many do we have around?
We have, I think we have as many as 6 or 7. I can mention Dr. Sechum, Dr. Dateba, Dr.
The one in charge of the regional committees.
Yes. I can think of Brobe JSC.
That's him, right?
I can think of Pega JSC. I can think of
so around 6, 7.
Yeah, they are about around 6 or 7.
Okay, so any of them could be selected.
Yes.
Well, if one of them is selected, that's fine.
No, the question is, which one of them are you selecting?
Does it matter?
It is material.
Why?
Why? Because of the sensitive nature of the issues in question. So I am saying, these matters, there's always a room for manipulation. You can handpick people that will pan to your discretion. If they come to a determination, that will favor your agenda.
If the EC,
yes,
in the long run,
yes,
is kept in office, yes, what does it mean? If she's not kept in office, that is following the outcome of the committee. Yes. What would it mean? What would it mean to our democratic process? What
it means is that, you see, right from next year, there are going to be a lot of electoral activities. We are going to move.
Well, she's still acting in her capacity, right?
She's not in an acting capacity.
I mean, she's still working.
Yes. But I'm saying, you pose the question that whether or not she's removed,
or not,
what does it portend for us? And I'm saying, if the processes absolve her of any blame, she would have come out stronger, because there are a lot of electoral activities coming up next year and the year after. Issues concerning creation of new districts, which will mean creation of new polling stations, you know, in those areas, will naturally, as a consequence of the new district they are creating, maybe redemarcation of electoral boundaries. It may happen. Now, a campaign towards the election of district assembly members is also coming up. Campaign towards the election of unit committee members, they're all coming up. The government has the intention of bringing an enactment that will lead to the election of DCs and MMBCs. If that happens, there are a lot of electoral activities coming up. Then, not long after that, she has to prepare for a general election, because preparations must begin.
So we're almost at the end of next year, 2018, right?
Yes, review of the electoral register may have to happen. You know, so we don't have the luxury of time. And so the person who superintends this, such a very sensitive,
but that's not an excuse if there are petitions against.
Of course, but I'm answering your question.
I know that.
If you remove her, there are a lot of things coming up. So with what sort of dispatch are you going to replace her?
Why can't the NDC just let all these processes go through?
Why? We are allowing the processes to go through. We are only questioning the propriety.
All your utterances are...
No. We are questioning the propriety of that, the basis, the legitimate basis for some of these things happening. Because you see, it dovetails into a certain agenda that we are saying had long been hatched by this government when they were in opposition. You see, it is not by accident that we see what is happening as being political. People have said things. It is by abundance of the mouth that whatever is in the heart is revealed. All right? So the things that you think of, the things that you harbor in your heart, they are the things that will come out. So it is by our actions that we can determine your thoughts. So by the actions, we are determining their thought and agenda.
Point noted. The PPP says that they are even ready to present evidence at the Chief Justice Committee. Is that also allowed, that they call for evidence from outside?
Yeah, they may call for memoranda.
Okay.
They may call for memoranda.
Right. Okay. So those who may be aggrieved with the EC...
But it has to be in connection with the
issue,
the complaints as contained in the petition.
All right. Now, there's also an issue that has been dominating the news media, I believe, over the last 24 hours. First, it was speculated on myjoyonline.com, on the business news, and now it looks like it's now been cited. Second deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana, one Dr. Johnson Isiama, were told that he's going to have a showdown, or is having a showdown with government, apparently. He's gone to that because his lawyer, Victor Kojoga Dawudu, has been speaking to the news media. Himself has also spoken to the Daily Graphic on phone, indicating that he's not resigned and has not altered any resignation letter. But we know that the news has been going on. My Joy Online, my Joy FM themselves said they had sources that were giving indication that he had resigned and was exiting the place. The speculation and perhaps the conspiracy theory is that he's been forced out.
Now, let me seize the opportunity. I'm very pained this morning. Let me seize the opportunity to say good morning to the people of South Dine, particularly the people of Parliament Dugan. That is where Johnson comes from.
You're citing, why you're just inciting there?
No, and that is my constituent.
This is your constituents.
It's my
because he comes from your constituency.
Yes, and that is, and Parliament Dugan is where my mother comes from. And so my mother comes from Ningba in Parliament. That is one of the clans. I know Johnson, young man who has worked extremely hard to...
So you're heavily conflicted?
I am not conflicted.
Okay.
On what basis is the government doing this to him? He served the government very well. Look, when he appeared before the Public Accounts Committee, when the governor...
he's a gentleman.
Yes. You remember I posed certain questions to him that generated furore in the media, where the Bank of Ghana came and they couldn't declare 40 million worth of transaction in bauxite.
Yes.
Later they had to go, very fine man who is serving this country very well in his capacity. Then it emerged 3 days ago that he had resigned. I tried to reach him, I couldn't. Now his lawyer is saying he hasn't resigned. And the Bank of Ghana is not speaking to this matter. That is what is worrying me.
Apparently he's been in the bank since 1996.
Yes. As soon as he finished Bishop Emma and did his first degree in economics, he's been working with the Bank of Ghana. Over time, he's had the opportunity to study for his master's and read his PhD.
So he's an institutional man?
Yes. So why are we kicking such a person from office? Why? So does it mean that in this country, when a certain government comes, a section of Ghanaians should not work, should be regarded as non-Ghanaians? They are not fit to hold office? It is not, and I've given you a litany of people who have been removed. I am saying call the former MD of GCB Bank, Agbesi, and find out whether the agreement he reached with the government when they were forcing him out, whether he had been paid, and called the governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Isaaku, that the terms that they reached as part of his parting benefits, whether he's been paid all, and the way he's being treated, call Steve Poggi and call all the others who have been removed. You understand? I don't think his appointment was political.
Yeah, he's been an institution.
When the NDC came, we allowed Dr. Bawumia to serve his term. That is the difference. We didn't kick out Bawumia because he was even a running mate. We allowed him to serve his term. It was after he had served his term that the government refused to renew it. And naturally, it was so. So he left and took up a lectureship outside. So why somebody who is just about 2 years into his contract, and you are pushing him out? And we know who they want to replace him with.
Who do they want to?
We hear from the grapevine.
No, it's not even the grapevine. The paper has reported.
Yes.
The paper has reported that one Ankuma is going to replace him.
Yes. And the Ankuma works with EcoBank in the Gambia also.
Yeah, we're told.
Yes. And we know whose wife that is.
Whose wife is that?
A senior lawyer who is associated with this government.
Ah.
Okay. You understand?
So you think this is all political?
It is all political. And if I were a doctor, he shouldn't leave. No amount of package, no however juicy, lofty it is, should push him out of his office. It should be suing. And the Bank of Ghana should take this matter serious, because you see, it's so sensitive an institution that even our foreign investors, prospective investors who are interested in coming to this country will panic.
Why?
When we begin to do things
that when they do a transaction with government, when there's a change of government, it means that they
what transaction? It's not a change of government. You are removing heads of central bank and their deputies whimsically. How much confidence would they have in such a system? On what basis would the deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana resign? On what grounds?
Personal.
On grounds of health?
Personal?
No.
But he said he hasn't resigned.
Yes.
But you could resign on personal grounds.
And what sort of personal reasons will let you leave such a position? When every banker's dream is to become a governor of the central bank.
If you're good enough, yes.
So the MPP should stop. MPP has become, the government has become lawless, and it's shocking. It's shocking. They employ a lot of lawless means to do things.
And there's one Dr. Gachi with the University of Ghana Business School saying that he's an economist with the University of Ghana Business School, says that Dr.
Gachi is with Cape Coast.
Cape Coast Business School. He says investors will be worried about policy sustainability at the bank. This action by government would also mean that the central bank is weak and not able to assert its independence, and etc. Why should we come to all that? Why should we say?
Why shouldn't we? And you know, the first thing they did was they changed the board members.
But that is normal.
Why? Why is it normal? When NDC attempted to remove Samuel Kujeto,
he went to court.
He went to court and got himself reinstated.
Yeah, but the people should also go to court. It's a right of...
Why?
It's a right they have.
No, once the court made that determination, it becomes a precedent. You don't remove people at will.
Then they should go back to court.
When they did that, then they removed Dr. Isaaku. We know, we said they removed him, but they said, oh, he resigned. So they are using the same formula against Dr. Isiama. It is not right. What is not right yesterday cannot be right today.
Okay, so you're saying what actions are available for him?
He has legally to sue for harassment.
If he can prove it.
Why he can prove it? When he's being called up left, center, right by top ministers in this government and government appointees to, for instance, bring his contract of employment. What does that mean? You call deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana to bring his contract of employment in Ghana 2017, entering 2018. On what grounds would you do that? If they are interested in creating, which they have become very adept and clever at, additional deputy governor positions, they can do so.
But you cannot work in an institution in which you are not happy in.
Why? Who says you should be happy to work in an institution?
It's not because all the political parties, when they come into office, tend to shove people out of office one way or the other.
Tell me.
Couldn't the NDC have allowed Dr. Bawumia also to become deputy governor?
Why? Dr. Bawumia was the deputy governor. He served his term.
You could have renewed
Check
it
the
for
records.
him.
He finished his term.
It could have been renewed for him.
Why? We didn't renew it. If you are campaigning, if you are running to another political opponent with different ideologies in terms of economics and all that, you know, and people even bastardized the NDC for allowing that. Because this was a man during the campaign bastardized the government for certain policies. And they were asking him, but aren't you the deputy governor? And he kept quiet. And yet we allowed him. Because Prof. Simon said, no, as a lawyer and as a professor at law, certain things must be done right. Let the man finish his term. If you are not willing to renew it, the law permits you to look for another to replace him. And so he did things according to law. We don't speak rule of law and do things not in accordance with law. And it's when we say we do things in accordance with law, we live by it. The NPP, when they say rule of law, they operate by rule of gangsterism.
Gangsterism.
Yes.
I see. So now you're not happy.
Why? They are removing people forcefully.
But he's not an NDC member, so why are you worried?
Sorry?
He's not an NDC member.
But he got his appointment under our government.
Well, he's been there since 1996.
It is worrisome.
Is it not true that
but elevation.
Is it not true that when you get certain positions,
yes,
it's normal that
there's nothing normal about it, Roland. There's nothing normal.
Okay.
There are a lot of people who are of NPP antecedents or NPP of NPP, inclinations, but they serve in their positions during the NDC regime, and the NDC members were bastardizing the government for allowing that to happen. But the president said they're also Ghanaians.
Very well. The Chief Justice of Akufo has argued that it is improper for members of parliament to use the title honorable when writing official letters. And I'm reading a news story. The Chief Justice's comments follow a suit filed by two legislators on both sides of the political divide as the NDC against the appointment of Wetu Kujaba as minister. And the substance of their petition was that she hadn't given any indication in her document to show, or CV to show, that she had undertaken her national service. But of course, the case was struck out because we're told the lawyer hadn't gotten his licenses at the time that he filed the writ.
You see, what is happening, and I'll say this without mincing words, the Chief Justice is the chairman of the General Legal Council. She's also the chairman of the Disciplinary Committee of the General Legal Council. And I believe she's also the chairman of the Judicial Council. And the indolence that the General Legal Council brings to bear on certain matters. You see, according to the law regulating issuance of license, the validity of a lawyer's license begins from 1st January to 31st December. But conventionally, the legal year begins from October each year to July the next year. Then we have a legal year of August, September. A legal vacation.
You have August, September, yes. October. You resume in October?
No, it's early October, so normally it's not too much. So as a lawyer, once the legal year begins, it means we have about 3 months for your license to expire. So we take steps to apply to the General Legal Council for the said license to be renewed. Now, there are people who have paid their fees, their license renewal fees, to the General Legal Council as far back as October. Their licenses are yet to be renewed. And yet the Supreme Court, as of yesterday, is saying, when you have done that and the General Legal Council Secretariat issues you with a receipt, acknowledging receipt of your money, that we shall issue you with your license, which administratively they haven't done as a result of indolence or some other factors. When it is 1st January and it is not ready,
you don't have a license.
You cannot file a process on behalf of your client. And I don't know what sort of logic this is. You have taken my money to issue me with a license. You haven't done that administratively. I haven't bothered you. You are taking all the time in the world to do that.
And usually that's the practice.
And then validity issues set in. And I'm supposed to work. There are occupational rights. My occupation cannot be jeopardized. And you, the same court constituted by you, you are saying that you will not recognize.
Ideally, shouldn't you be applying earlier before the start of...
No, how do I apply earlier? In fact, I am not even supposed to apply when it is not expired. How can you be applying for a renewal of your license when the license is not expired?
Perhaps you have to pay in lieu.
How do you pay in lieu?
You pay in lieu of the expiration of the current one, and then...
How do you do that?
By the time you do that...
You see, when they are making a technical argument, sometimes you run into absurdity.
Yeah, well, true.
You see, I have a license that is supposed to last for 12 months. 1st January to 31st December. My license is not expired. Then you are saying I should come and renew it. How? So initially, when this issue began, a leeway, CJ Wood gave a leeway. CJ Wood will say that she directed all the courts that until when the new year sets in, lawyers are given up to about 31st March to regularize their new
3
license.
months.
Yes. And that is how forward-looking the person is. She is aware of the administrative difficulties.
Exigencies.
Do you understand? And we were happy. So all you needed was that your commitment. Have you paid? If you paid, you were eligible to.
So if you paid, it gives an indication that
you are committed.
Yes. You've already committed yourself.
Yes, you are committed.
Because you're just only waiting for
the paper. So you were even eligible to even quote your receipt number.
So what transpired yesterday? What does it mean then?
It's unlawful. It's wrongful.
No, but for all the things you have to say today, yes, fine. It's unlawful, etc.
And I told Eduji.
But what does it mean going forward?
What it means is that lawyers are in a fix.
Are they really in a fix?
Yes, lawyers are in a fix. What it means is that...
If you know that there's an expiration of your license on the 31st of December 2017, by this time you should have started the process of...
How do I start? My license is not expired.
October, so that by 1st January 2018, your license is ready.
So the court should have taken cognizance of those administrative delays on their part. And not to be indolent. So that when I pay immediately, I get it. Immediately I stand and I pay. So I think the court cited an analogy of a passport. And I think with all due respect to the court,
that's even worse.
It's inapplicable.
That's even worse.
The analogy
but
you
every
should
passport
cite?
It take years to
No. She says that when you apply for a passport and you are waiting for it, you don't have a passport.
Yeah, true.
And that with all due respect,
you can't even travel.
It's not applicable. What should be applicable is the DVLA situations.
Now they say
where your license is ready. Hold on. When your license is ready, but DVLA has not issued it, they give you a temporary license. General Legal Council should be issuing temporary licenses.
Well, we don't understand. What she said was that about the honorables and the titles they use. Was that a comment or a ruling?
It was an extrajudicial comment. So comment outside of the judicial process.
So what does it mean? What's the meaning?
It was an infra dig. You know what is an infra dignitata? It's a comment that is supposed to affect your dignity. In law, we call it an infra dignitata.
So he just had a dig at you?
Yes, a sidekick.
Yeah. But what does it mean? Because to the outside world, then it kind of.
I don't know what happened to CJ yesterday.
Oh.
But I think yesterday she had a bad.
At what point do you have to use the honorable? The word?
Look.
Because it didn't manage from our jurisdiction, did it?
Yes. Indeed, there are a lot of things that they didn't even manage from our jurisdiction. The lawyers, we wear wig, we wear all that. They didn't manage from our jurisdiction. No. There are a lot of things we inherited. Now, if the electorate refer to us as honorable members because it is an honor to represent a group of people in your legislature, that is as a matter of course. It is not for nothing that we called judges of the Superior Court justices, because we by the nature of the common law, all right, we say that they dispense justice. So when the person is elevated to such lofty position, the person becomes a justice. He becomes somebody who is a repository of justice, who dispenses justice without fear or favor.
But even in the UK, it's only for those who are knighted, etc.
No. It's only judges. And even the judges, it is only those from the Superior Court, that's High Court to the Supreme Court. That is why those in the lower bench, we call them your honor or your worship. You understand? So those things, you acquire them as a result of the position. They are accruals to the office that you occupy. And indeed, the judges, they retire with the title. That is why today I still refer to Dr. Dateba as Justice Dr. Dateba retired. Or you write their name, you write JSC, Justice of the Supreme Court. It is not for nothing. And so to say that two honorable members of Parliament issue, it is not the first time MPs have issued writ before the Supreme Court. It wasn't the first time. What really was the basis?
You're angry. That's why
I am pained.
You're pained.
I am pained because
you are
the
pained
issues,
because
the
you will not be called honorable again.
No. She didn't say that. She thinks that
you said you guys are abusing it.
Why? So if you call ambassadors Your Excellency, is it an abuse?
They don't use it roughly.
No, I am telling her that she totally misconstrued a lot of
what
things.
What did you say, Dig? An infra
dignitata. It was an infra dig against members of Parliament.
It was a great infra dig.
Yes, really. Against us.
Thanks for joining me this morning.
My pleasure.
Nelson Dafiamakbo will be going to a funeral this weekend in Pando, and we know that the NDC, they've lost or are going to bury
a regional women organizer.
Regional women's organizer who had been in office for 16 years, I'm told, and it was going to take place at Pando, but he's a member of Parliament for South Dine, just within the enclave, you know. But thanks for joining me.
It's my pleasure.
All right, also on the show today, we'll be telling you about the EcoBank app and how it's making banking easier. Just think about it. We'll be right back.